Welcome to this week's episode of News of the North. It's August 29th, 2017, and I'm your host, Paul Filion, here with my co-host, Antoine Bergeron. Hey, Antoine, how you doing this week?
Pretty good. You?
I'm doing better than some people are this week. It's It's been a rough week for the industry, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
So I will let you discuss the bad news.
Okay. Usually we only talk about releases and some stuff like that. However, this week there's been 3 companies announcing their closure, or that they are closing. I don't know.
Yeah, announcing their closure was right.
Yeah. On the Lamb, which they announced it, I think, at the end of last week, to be honest. Spartan Games and Tor Gaming. All 3 games, all 3 companies, I was playing their games. I've been involved a bit with On the Lamb for making even some painting and some terrain for them. Spartan Games, I have at least 4 of their games that I have stuff for. And Tor Gaming has been almost associated to the podcast. The first year and a half, we mentioned them at least once an episode.
Yep.
So,
and then they kind of took a pause to do their second edition of the game, and
we took a pause too.
We kind of lost touch with them.
And playing, and that went to the wayside. But for at least the start of the history of the podcast, Tor was with the podcast. In our heart, at least. So I wanted to mention it. It's a big hit for the diversity. What Tor brought, I don't see anywhere else. That whimsical, strange, dark world was not there. What On the Lamb have as rules, their skulls were not always it for us, but the concept of the game was found nowhere else either. And Spartan was a juggernaut of fleet battles.
Yeah, they had so many different games, and I think in the case of Spartan that may have been a little bit their undoing too, because they were a small company, and it's when you're a small company, it's hard to support 5-6 different product lines, right? Like it was that I think hurt them a lot.
Yeah, I think so.
Tor, I mean, unique sculpts, fantastic world with such a creative history, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a traditional fantasy game, so they really did something different there. And like you said, On the Lamb, I mean, they brought their whole concept, first with Brushfire, right? The anthropomorphic historical battles.
Yeah.
Which was really cool. And then later with Endless Fantasy Tactics, where they tried to bring that Final Fantasy Tactics style game to the tabletop.
And it worked. The game was fun. The game is still fun. It's just no longer supported.
Yeah. Well, they're running till the end of the year, I think.
Yeah. And most of the rules were on Drive-Thru RPG and Drive-Thru Cars. So I wonder if they will stay there, but as no longer updated rules. They might just stop producing the figures, but the rules might stay there. I have not read or talked with Emily and Matt about that.
Yeah.
So that might be a possibility for people to still be able to get them.
Yeah, because that game was a great little pickup game, and it was an awesome way to use all kinds of different miniatures if you didn't have theirs, right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, wishing everyone involved with all 3 companies well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And on that sad note, we will start the good news. There are more miniatures coming. You know, every time a door closes, another door opens. So let's see what we got going on this week. So as always, we're going to start with our non-crowdfunding news. And first up this week is Warhansa, the Gauls.
So this small group of miniature, there's 5 of them. Any Franco-Belgian
oh goodness
comic book reader will know them.
Yeah, I didn't. So I saw there were Gauls, and I didn't actually look at the models. Wow.
Yeah, so those are Asterix, Obelix, and other of their villagers.
Yeah, other characters from the books. Jeez.
Yeah, well, 4 of them I can place. There's a chief, there's Accessories, not Accessories, but Panoramics, the droid.
Yeah.
Just the 4th one in the group shot.
The guy next to Obelix, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who that character is. I'm sure he's somewhere there, but I don't know who he is.
But the other 4 can be easily placed.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to mistake.
Yeah. Small fun group.
Yeah, no, and it's funny. I always forget that the Asterix Obelix thing didn't start and end with our generation. Right?
It's far older than us.
It's like Tintin, right? Or Tintin, as we call it in English. It's one of those things that it was before us, it went after us. And there's not many things that work like that, right? If you think about it. Most childhood cartoon series and stuff, they don't carry on for generations.
Yeah, not that far. Yeah.
You know, so these are truly classics. And it's 5 models. They're not cheap, but they're well detailed, and they're certainly instantly recognizable as what they're supposed to be. So I think the sculptor did a good job of capturing the character. They're 1/32 scale, so they're not tiny. $39 US. So that's not horrible. What does that work it out to? Is that $8 each? About $8 US each.
Somewhere around there.
Well, 5 times 8 is 40. So yeah, a little bit less than $8 US. And I'm assuming they're resin.
Nope, they're soft plastic.
Oh, they're soft plastic. And that's probably the reason for the cost, because of the tooling, right?
Yeah.
So they're a bit pricey because molds cost money. But being plastic, they'll be more durable. And, yeah. That's pretty cool. All right. Next up. High-tech miniatures. The Betrayer.
So, there's no idea. That's a proxy for Cypher.
Yep, absolutely.
It's a nice-looking proxy for Cypher.
Yeah, and he's fully clothed, unlike the other Cypher proxy we talked about.
Yeah, it's not the same company. High-tech miniatures do usually overclothe stuff.
Yeah, I have a couple of their not Terminator guys. Really cool models. Nicely detailed. They differ a bit from GW style. But it's certainly recognizable for what it's supposed to be. Their models are also pretty chunky. Like they're same scale as a regular Terminator, but they're or a Space Marine, but they're a bit bulkier.
Yeah.
In general. So what do we have here?
Oh, the term oversized in the title probably sells it there.
Yeah. He looks to be more Terminator sized than Space Marine sized. And at €18 for a resin model that size, that's pretty much par for the course, with $7 shipping worldwide, regardless of how much you purchase. So buy a bunch of stuff, reduce that shipping cost, or share with friends. No, very nice looking model. Stands just over 5 inches tall. That seems quite large.
5 inches is really big. It's really 5 inches?
No, it's maybe 5 centimeters. European. Yeah. Yeah,
I see 40 millimeter in the scale picture, so to the eyes. So.
Yeah. And then they've got a picture of him standing next to a tape measure, and 5 centimeters comes up to just below the top of the
that's
head.
Centimeters for sure.
Yeah.
There's 10 bars.
I looked at it. You know, we're so used to doing everything in inches for all the games we play. I looked at it, said inches, and I'm like, wait a minute. No, there's 10 segments between them. They're centimeters, not inches.
And that would be so huge.
Well, 5 inch would make no sense. Yeah, that's why I was like, what? I knew it was wrong as soon as I said it. Like, that can't be right. Let's look again. Yeah. Yeah, so still, he's good with the base height and stuff. He's quite chunky for a Space Marine.
Yes.
Anyway, €18. Check him out. Very cool looking model. Next in line, Knuckleduster Miniatures. New releases.
So they usually do, Knuckledusters mostly do historical miniatures. Or this time I wanted to mention them. It's a bunch of Wild West models. You have some Pinkerton's member for the agency, Gravedigger, some starter cowboy for like a starter pack, shopkeepers, bunch of stuff. I mentioned it because there's Dracula's America coming out soon, and those will be the perfect generic miniatures to play with.
And I think some of these models, like if I look at the starter faction models, some of them look familiar, so I think we've spoken about them on the show before. Either there were sculpts that were released individually before and it's now being repackaged.
That's possible.
Because I know in the starter faction box, there's a guy who's kind of hunched over, about ready to quick draw 2 pistols, and I'm certain I've seen that model before. So
we have mentioned other Far West stuff from Black Scorpion, and that might have been a similar sculpt.
It's possible, but I'm pretty sure it was this exact sculpt. I might be wrong.
That's possible.
Don't quote me on it. I might be wrong. What do I know? Yeah. So cool gunfighters. If you like Wild West, it's definitely cool. Oh, I like the
Weird West.
The Pinkertons. Yeah, Weird West. Pinkertons. You get a guy holding the bomb. You know, the stereotypical black ball with the fuse sticking out of it. And he's getting ready to throw it. That's a pretty awesome sculpt. I won't lie. They have some neat stuff. And that cowboy aesthetic is pretty popular with a lot of people. All right. What's next? Nutsplanet. Martina.
So this is a bust in 1/10 scale. Comes in resin for kind of a robot sci-fi hunter. She looks female, I would say.
Yeah, it's definitely female. She has a bust, so if you look at the profile shot, she's got
I was
a girlish
just
figure.
looking at the front shot, so
yeah, and she has contoured armor like all females should have, or something. It's a cool looking figure, and I've seen a couple other. I think this is a series, isn't it? Yeah, Ghost Company is a series, and I've seen Ben Comets recently painted one of the other characters from the series.
Oh.
Yeah, there's like a soldier with a cigar in his mouth with a set of goggles on his head. And Ben was painting him. It's gonna drive me nuts now. I think it was just the Anti-Robot Squad Sergeant. Well, okay, so he doesn't have much of a name. But Ben was painting that bust. But yeah, back to Martina. Amazingly detailed bust. And it looks very much in the style of like Infinity.
Yes.
Like Corvus Belli style, like battle armor. Definitely high tech. And I wish sometimes these companies would show an unpainted version of the bust, just so you can get kind of an idea of what detail is painted in and what's actually there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think both would be good. Yeah.
But beautiful details, well sculpted face, well proportioned, and the paint job certainly sells it too.
It sure helps.
I'm unfamiliar with the painter, Kiyol Yoon, but excellent job.
He's a painter and sculptor.
Yeah, he's done both, which is... He may have some artistic talent. Let's put it that way.
Some people have more than others.
Yeah, exactly. $60 US, so it's not an inexpensive bust, but for its size and the detail level, I think it's pretty much market price.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, and I can't get over the face. The face looks so good. Because it looks human. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's got a lot of character to it. And, she's a soldier. She's not a fashion model. So, which is always nice. I guess they had to make some concessions after giving her the boob armor. All right. Next up, Model Universe, Luke.
So this is another model that we really can't mix up with anything else. This is Luke Skywalker cartoon model.
Yeah, chibi-esque. And he's
would you call him chibi? I think he fits like the Saturday morning cartoon style more than the chibi anime one.
Well, he's got the large head and the small body.
Yeah.
So in that regard, like, he's chibi in the way that, let's say Arcadia Quest is chibi, right? Mm-hmm. It's not Super Dungeon Explorer chibi.
Yeah. I agree with you. I find we mentioned Asterix just before. He would fit that kind of Franco-Belgian kids comic.
Yeah, the style is definitely like... Yeah, there's definitely something like that in the style. Oh, it's neat. If you notice, the piece he's standing on is actually a lightsaber handle.
Yeah, I saw that.
So it's Luke in his Cloud City attire from before he faced off against Vader. He still has 2 hands, and he's not whining like a little girl. It is a cool model. €20. 20 and is that 41 cents? I don't know what the euro denominations are. So 20 and a half. We'll round up. 20 and a half euros.
I have 24 and 90, depending on when I switch euros. Seems we don't have the same price.
No, I've got 2041. But it's okay. It's
yeah. It probably went up between or reloading of the page.
Whatever happened, it's a super cool model.
Yes.
I think if you're a Star Wars fan, or you like chibi, or you just want to paint something kind of cartoony and fun, totally worth investing in.
Absolutely.
I don't know what international shipping is, but and the page just crashed on me, so I can't look up.
Being in Italian doesn't help.
And the page just died on me, so I can't even
Same
look.
here, so I can't help you.
Maybe Disney got wind of it.
That's why they upped the cost for me.
Yeah, what I think is a really awesome model. Definitely one the fans should check out. All right. Next in line. Well, something from our friend Patrick. Bombshell Miniatures. Morihalda, Forest Spirit Bust.
So, we mentioned how found shouldn't have female when we talked about another found bust recently. So this time it's not a found, it's a spirit bust, a forest spirit. So that's why it can be female. So it's what you would picture as a girl found with antlers.
Yeah.
Bust with long curly hair, cool
pointed ears. A crown. Yeah.
Like a flower crown.
Yeah, flower crown. Also interesting, I don't know if you realize this, but like the facial features are almost feline. If you look at the nose.
Yeah.
The nose is kind of shaped like a feline's. It's a really interesting sculpt.
I like how the base, the part that would be a plinth, looks more like an antler wood.
Yeah, or like maybe or even a tree, like it's textured like bark would be. But yeah, you're right. I think it's more like the antler. Yeah, I will concede that point. At first, I thought tree when I saw it, but I think you're right. I think it's more like antler,
which is really cool. Interesting.
It's very, very cool.
So nice work.
Yeah, and you know what? Again. Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the small details. Like the hair is gorgeous. I like the antlers. Yeah, that's really nice. And quite a reasonable price, I think. $30 US?
Yeah.
Do we have a size?
It's about 3 inches high.
3 inches the top of the head. You know, that's not bad for a bust that size.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds about right. If I look at what I paid for, say, the Privateer Press busts, they're about $40 US, and they're a similar size, I think. So I think my Scar bust is about that size, so it makes sense. So well done, Patrick and Bombshell Miniatures. Mm-hmm. And I hope he keeps releasing more busts, more, he did something large scale with the melee large scale figure.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to see him diversifying a little bit and doing these purely painting pieces with, no game or anything behind it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I like seeing that.
So I'll mention this one is on pre-order. So it's in production right now, and it will ship when it's cast.
Yeah. And that might be just a little bit of time because I think Bombshell's moving offices and stuff. So, but you can trust Patrick. He'll ship it to you as soon as he's got it. Next up, Corvus Belli, new Infinity releases.
So, like they do, those are the releases for September. So they release a bunch of stuff for every faction, or almost. So you have some for the Akislam, some for.
How does it...
Yeah, I don't know all faction, but there's some for Ariana and a bunch of characters too.
Yeah, it looks like there's some for maybe Pan-Oceania. The
Hellcats. Yeah.
Yeah.
The price. Yeah. Oh, those are a repack. So
I love the ninja archer in power armor. How is it that? And say what you want about the game or the overall sci-fi aesthetic. One thing you have to give Corvus Belli is that their sculpts are consistently good.
Yep.
At least in the last couple of years, they do not have bad sculpts. There's no one with a nice body and a fugly face. There's no weirdly proportioned people. You just don't see it from them. They are spot on their game. And that's not easy when you're dealing with a broad line miniature game, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they have a really wide range of models.
And scales, even within their own game. Right?
Yeah,
people different, the power armor guys are slightly larger, the tags are even bigger.
All the alien stuff have their own scale too.
The Morats and stuff are a bit bigger than the regular humans, but smaller than a tag, and probably smaller than some of the big power armor guys. Really, really cool stuff.
Yeah, the list is long, so just go to the notes and take a look at everything they released.
Tons and tons of stuff. All right. Next up, Infamy games, Quaker.
This is I like it. It looks like almost a gun platform gorilla.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's called Quaker because when he walks, the earth shakes type thing.
Yeah, it's a Quaker cannon that's on its back, which is a weapon created by Tesla. Tesla being a gang leader in Infamy, the Big Smoke in the game. So that's one of his creation. It's on pre-order right now. I think the game was on Kickstarter and it's shipping or has been shipped to people. So that's a new model, and they are starting to release really new stuff now.
Yeah, and I like the aesthetic. If you like that kind of classical steampunk look, like the Jules Verne style stuff, this will appeal to you.
Yeah,
very cool.
It does.
And I don't know exact size.
I'm not sure about the the energy sparks on the cannon and the coils. There's some kind of wave.
Yeah, the hard sculpt energy seeping from the machine thing.
Yeah.
I'd have to see it painted.
Yeah, me too.
In the render, it's tough to see, right? It's tough to visualize for me, I should say. And I don't know the size of this thing, but I assume it's fairly large.
Yeah, that's something. It comes on a 50mm base, so it's probably still quite sizable.
Yeah, and at 15 pounds, that's doesn't sound like a bad price for a model that size in resin. All right. Next up, we are going to our crowdfunding news. And first up is Macrocosm, the Legion of Steel, 28mm Sci-Fi Space Dwarves plus Auxiliaries.
When you have a name of project that long, usually there's no much explanation needed, and it's the case.
Yeah, Steel Legion Dwarf proxy, awesome. Just awesome.
Yeah. It's not the Macrocosm first Kickstarter either, so they know what they're doing. They're at their 10th right now. Yeah, 10th. So,
and this is hard to resist. I won't lie. Oh my goodness, they have the auxiliaries are actually like the Ogrins or Jakoro weaponsmiths, I guess.
Yeah, one or the other, the big Oran Utang auxiliaries. Yeah.
There's something I don't know about. Like, man, they've got gun platforms too. This is so tempting. And transports.
Yeah, I like the dwarf that we see with the transport, with the gas mask and pointing.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, they have the ogres. They're called the Augs. They're further down the page.
Yeah.
Dozer suits. These things are amazing. Oh my god, why have we never seen this stuff before? Why have I not heard of these people?
We've mentioned Macrocosm before when they had the Halfling Sniper. They have further down as add-ons. We mentioned them.
I didn't realize that was them.
Yeah. Well, we mentioned 2 Halfling squads. One of them was by Macrocosm.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see them. The females, right? Or it's led by a female.
Yeah.
I can't tell if they're all female because they're just the metal pick still, like the raw metals. Yeah, okay. But these dwarves, some of these dwarves must have come up before.
Some of them, but what the Legion of Steel, I think, are new.
Yeah. No, that's the new ones. And wow, are they nice? That is awesome. Let's take a look at the numbers here. So
you get a pack for £12. A pack is, for the small one, 5 miniatures with base. Yeah. And for the bigger ones, like the monkeys that are on 40 miniatures, you get 3 in the pack. So,
and I like the way the Kickstarter is structured. So it's 1 pack's £12. You get 5 packs for £55, or 10 packs for £99, which saves you £20.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good deal. Ships anywhere in the world. I don't know what shipping costs are. I'm assuming they're the exact shipping costs. But this is totally awesome. And they are also fully funded already. So they were looking for £800. They're at £1,560 with 13 days left to go. So they should be completely funded and ready to go on September 10th, 2017. Folks, we have to make the space squats happen. Like, wow. I love them. Gas masks and beards. What more do you need? All right. Next up. Northumbrian Painting Services. Fantasy football accessory figures. Expand your team.
So, I like this project. It's Blood Bowl stuff, but not to play. It's all the sideline figures. You have the coach, a musician, cheerleaders, a magician, a doctor. So, or even the guy with the how do you call that? They carry the guy. The
guy on the stretcher.
A stretcher, yeah. You have the Skaven with a stretcher.
A Skaven with an apron, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't get any blood on him, and a stretcher.
And the male Norse cheerleader.
Yeah, I saw that. That was kind of scary. But yeah, these are cool models. You know, and Blood Bowl's big right now, right? So if you want to have a little bit of fun and paint some stuff that's not really part of your team, but will look cool in the setup, or if you want to do a little diorama, this could be awesome stuff to have in the background.
And it's all kind of races because we mentioned the Skaven, but there's some orcs too.
The Doctors of Empire.
Yeah.
Dr. von Charlestein.
There's a head coach that's an orc. So the Norse champion, that's the cheerleader champion. Yeah. Really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Okay, so what do we got here for the numbers? So pledges start at £3, and it kind of goes up from there. So the halfling ball boy is £3. The regular size miniatures are £4. Hire 2 apothecaries, so you get the 2 medical staff and the ball boy for £9.
You kind of have to go look at them because every pledge add different miniatures as you go up.
Well, so I think if you look at it, £22 gets you
everything,
the whole set. Yeah. So for £22, you get 2, 4, 6, 8 models.
8 models. Yeah.
Come on.
That's a good price.
Yeah. That's a good price for half that many models, so it's fine. And they have a lot of character. And right now,
unlike their stretch goals, they are adding different races for all the position we mentioned. So
nice.
There's a dwarf cheerleader, some goblin stretcher team. So
that's cool. So this Kickstarter, they're looking for £1,000. They're currently at £733, so they're well on their way. There are 25 days left to go. So we got some time to back this. And if they hit their target, this Kickstarter will be fully funded on Friday, September 22nd, 2017. All right. And I think, last but not least, Troublemaker Games, small-scale armies, plastic terrain kits.
So this is a line of, you get square tiles to create buildings in a small scale.
Like the GW terrain sets, but small scale.
Yeah, I have more the Dead Zone kit in head because they're all 3x3.
Mm.
And they make squares. And that's what this kit does too. You make squares, but instead of being Dead Zone size, they are 6mm sized, scaled size. So you had tiny building for epic, you could stretch it for other games like Heavy Gear, Dub Zone Commander.
Yeah, which are 10 and 12 millimeters respectively, I think. But
and they come in a couple of different themes. You get the Gothic one, you get some more, how do they call them? There was I had the list.
Like industrial sci-fi.
Industrial, Gothic, Cyber Hive. So you got some choice. They don't change that much, but it's fun because when you pledge, you get a bunch of tiles, and from there you build the buildings you want. So you want a small 1x1 tile building, you can do it, but you can want to do something 2-story or just a bigger base, you can adjust as you want as you go.
Yep, it's very modular that way, which is cool. And they get some examples of different tables set up, like 3D renders of tables being set up with their terrain, and they do look neat. I won't lie. I think it could be very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's not just 3D renders, because down the page you can also see some real example painted too.
Yep.
So.
Yep. No, they've got a pre-production mold made, and they've done some samples and built some stuff. So it's quite neat. Now this is an Indiegogo, so it's a bit different. So it's got a fixed goal of £1,500 with a month left, and they're at £1,016. So they're in good shape to hit. And we didn't actually talk about the prices. Sorry, so let's just go over that quickly. So basically, £20 plus shipping will get you 40 panels, which is enough to make 8 1x1 buildings. So that's not bad. The mixed village is 80 panels for £35, so you get a bit of a savings there. That's 20 sprues. And then the town is £65. And again, if you go to the Indiegogo page in the show notes, you can see examples of what this might look like on a table. And then for £120, you get the city. And that's just a lot of terrain. Anyways,
that's crazy big.
Yeah, 320 panels.
You cover... that would be too much for Drop Zone.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You could do probably 3 Drop Zone tables with that, if not more.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And because I'm not sure if I mentioned or not, they're looking for £1,500 on the fixed goal. They're currently at £1,016, raised by 27 backers, with a month left in the campaign.
And probably enough time to complete.
Yeah. and they're nearly 70% there, so it's looking good. I guess it's tough, that scale. There's quite a few different games out there, but it's tough to find affordable, nice terrain.
Yes, totally agree. And before we started recording, we were talking also about what's the name of the new Epic game by Game Workshop that's coming out?
Oh, it's like
Titanicus or something.
Titanicus or Legion or Titan Legion or something. Yeah.
So that would fit right in.
Yep, absolutely. And like we said, we're sure he considered that when he launched the Kickstarter.
That's possible.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. All right, Antoine, I think that's everything for this week.
Mm-hmm. It is.
All right. Well, I will see you next week for more news.
Yes. Bye, geeks.
Thanks for listening to Geeks of the North. If you want to contact us, you can email us at geeksofthenorth@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/geeksofthenorth, or follow us on Twitter at Geeks of the North. You can follow me, Paul, at PRFilio, Antoine at Eltonio Berg, Steve at B_Steve, and if you really feel the need, I guess you can follow Yom. He's at Yomasta. Breaks and outro music by Ladrave. You can listen to them at ladrave.bandcamp.com. See you next time, geeks.
Thank you for checking out a United Geeks Network family member. If you enjoyed it and are looking for other online media with a geek culture slant, head over to UnitedGeeksNetwork.com, where you will find All Us Geeks, a podcast that discusses board games, movies, television, comics, Kickstarter, and many other forms of geek culture. The United Geeks Network. You can broadcast your geekiness at UnitedGeeksNetwork.com.